Hey, this is Tracy with Color Me This. Welcome to my channel and welcome back if you are returning. So before I get started, this is episode 68 and we are starting a new image, but I wanted to give a couple of last thoughts on the first half of the moth. I will be coloring the upper half of the image later this week, and it will probably be the main part of the weekly color reveal. So after I've colored this, I did some cleanup and I have 3 colors to add that I will put in the description, but I wanted to share with you what they are and why I chose them. So ironically, I sometimes don't go dark enough in the darks, and in this case I had to choose 2 very dark colors and 1 light bright color. So the gold down here I felt was a little bit on the dull side, so I went ahead and added this nice cadmium yellow. Then when I was cleaning things up, and I see that there are a couple of areas, it doesn't look too bad, there's a couple of places that I need to erase with the electric eraser. And there's a little mark there, but it's just all nitpicky. So the next color that I threw in is called Slate Gray, and it is also for the gold. I just didn't think that these very dark edges, I want to have these look like they're domed or a rounded surface. So I went ahead and added this Slate Gray, which is actually a very, very dark brown. And I will tell you, I've already said that the dipped ends on the Castle Arts are quite dark compared to the pigment that you get out of them. So I have gone through with the Slate Gray. I added it to the hearts to darken up the edges. I was very inconsistent with the shading on these hearts, but I'm just going to leave it as is. So we've got this pink that I used. I went ahead and darkened a bit. And then the last additional pencil, as I was cleaning up, I really felt that my greens did not go dark enough. So you'll see that now these greens go really dark at the points, just a little bit. I didn't really want a lot of it to be very dark. And I even added a little bit of the very dark in this kind of floral leaf element. I just did crisscrosses and then dotted the center just to make sure that I had an appropriate amount of darks with the lights. So there'll be a tiny bit more cleanup, and I haven't even thought about where I would add any bling. It is possible that as I look at this, I would add no bling to very little bling. It just doesn't strike me as a very blingy creation. So if you have thoughts before the end of the week, because it's something I can add after it's considered to be done, I could still go back and add bling at any time. And I'm thinking it would be shimmer, glimmer, that type of thing, glimmer gel pens, or glitter gel pens rather. So the final color for the greens is Cadmium Green 62. And actually I am posting 67. So this is episode 68. So 67 isn't even posted yet. I will go make sure that these 3 colors are added. And I will also take new photography. I believe I already took photography and started the processing of this video, so I will be sure to take a fresh picture that has all of the extra darks. And I'll be coming back shortly with the pencils for starting this. It'll be a flash for you, but it is going to be a little time for me because I've got to sit down and grab my pencils. I have spent some time with Evazar and have good swatches. I believe I've swatched the Castle Arts pastel tints, but haven't done anything else with them. And since I did just work with the Brut Funer pastels here, and they were absolutely dreamy to work with, it will be interesting to see how I feel with the pastel tints. compared to the Brutfuner macarons. So I will be right back. All right, I am settled down now in the recliner. I've got both sets of pencils. We're going to start with Castle Arts Pastel Tints. There are 48 of them. Since I haven't had a chance to do my detailed walkthrough, the only thing I have learned about these is that they do have white text on all of them, which on this particular color and this color, and even though the light blue works fine. However, there are 4 pencils that I could not read. So this is the Jasmine, and I don't know if you can make yourself make out what that says, but I could not. So on 4 of them I have put numbers. Pencils 1, 2, 3, and 26 are illegible. But other than that, they all look good. So I have sharpened the pencils I'm going to start with. I am starting simply with 3 blue and 2 purples, lavenders. So I'm using Blue Mist 036, Heather 041, and Hydrangea 040. But I do think these are a really nice looking pencil. They feel nice. They're not like a chunky pencil by any means, and the core isn't super thick. But so far the ones I'm playing with that I have sharpened, they are all absolutely perfect looking. So I'm just going to get to going on coloring every one of these 6 images. So there's the top 2, the middle 2, and the bottom 2. I'm going to stay zoomed in pretty close because I'll be working each image individually, and every one of the 6 images will get a little bit of the pastel color. And we are going to start with the flowers. I haven't figured out the centers of the flowers, but I have determined the flower colors. So on these 5 petals, I'm going to start with the center is actually, I did it backwards, but I don't think that it will hurt anything. The outermost faded, aged part of the petal will be the light blue. And this is the lightest blue. Want to do with the detailed walkthrough of these, which I will get to someday. I will compare them to the Brutfuners and see what the differences are in the colors. So this is the lavender, the lightest lavender color. There are a couple of very unique colors that I really like. There's some light, like bone colors, like there's cream rose, snow waffle, which is like a pink, peach cream, which is a peachy, very light, creamy color, and then candy tuft. And I'm staring at them and they are just really nice, soft colors that would add a nice tone to any picture. So we'll see how these feel. I did not, when I did my quick swatching that I did not keep any notes or anything. So hopefully I will be able to get a feel for these. And I'll just share with you as I use them. They don't feel full of filler. So there's this weird slick feeling. It's not necessarily bad because my favorite, so far, favorite of all pencils have it. And that is the Brutfuner squares. They're not like a sticky creamy, they're like not quite silky, but they definitely feel like there is filler involved. And these feel a little, maybe it's because these feel a little bit drier, but they're blending nicely together. And I found when I used the soft touch that you had to just do your little circles a little bit more. The Brute Funer, one set of circles pass and you're done. Where these, you have to spend a little more time. Maybe they would appreciate light layers, I'm guessing. That's kind of how it feels to me, that these would be, I feel like I can push really hard, but I don't want to push really hard because then that will hurt my hands. So you can see this dark edge. And on this one that I went a little bit more, see here, I've got a dark edge. I'm going to see if I can blend it out. I don't think this will take all this long today. And I even think I do have the Evazar out, but I haven't picked any colors yet. So I am purposefully putting down the darkest color, and I want to see if I can easily get them to blend out. I have to move my mirror a little bit. It's almost touching the camera. If it was touching, I apologize. So now I'm just going through, this is the lighter of the two, and I am purposefully seeing if I can just blend out and then melt away, so to speak, the harsh dark line. There it is right there. I still feel like I'm pushing pretty hard. I don't feel like I can get what I want with it really soft. Okay, so now let's take the lightest blue, and I've already pretty much filled this front flower with as much pigment I think that these are going to give me. And now I have this last little bit of the edge that's pretty soft looking, but let's see if we can blend it out completely into the blue and have it look really nice. I like this color combination. It reminds me of hydrangeas, the blue to purple kind. And I do think that they actually blended out nicely. So this is I want to go to the dark. I may end up with a gray here. I want to shadow this side. Like so. Give that smaller flower the feeling of being behind the bigger one. There you go. I think that did a really nice job. I designated a larger space. So on this side, I'm going to go ahead and angle it. I have this very long mushroom, and this particular one I want to do with a light source over off to the right and up. I will see if I can continue the light source through all 6 images in the same location-ish. So that would mean that this dark lavender would be on this side of the mushroom. So let's see how well these 3 colors do on this bigger surface. And then I'm going to go ahead and add in this softer lavender. And then the light source isn't completely off to the right, so I'm going to go ahead and add some blue on this side. And maybe just a sliver of that lavender I will come back across. Yeah, that looks pretty good. They're doing a nice job. This was the last set of Castle Arts that I needed to purchase to complete my collection of them. And the soft touches, I actually have 2 sets. I'm going to go back in with this lavender on the right side and just put a little hint of it on the very edge. And then I will wait till I get more of the other images down. And so I'm going to leave this light source spot fairly big. And then I can come in with the, after the Evazar is down, and then I'll even everything up. So that is my plan. And that looks pretty good. Now I have the base of it, and I will probably go with a bone tone, and I'm looking at the colors I mentioned. And I'm thinking Candy Tuft. I might come back. Start with the Candy Tuft for all 4 of the mushrooms. That little line goes up, and it's this sprig. So then I will also then, if I use Candy Tuft, we'll see how well, if I pick a darker Evazar for a shadow, we'll see how well they commingle together. All right, so I'm going to go over, oh, I am seeing some lines here. Let's see if we can, I'm going to go back here. From this angle, I don't see them. Okay, I'm just going to do some softening. Yesterday's image with the moths, because I'm not really sitting at a desk, some of the lines that I made weren't as smooth. And with the imagery, I took a fresh picture today because I added some darks. I didn't feel like I had gone dark enough. So I cleaned up some of the line work that I had done, smoothed some of the colors out, and then did the darkening. So there, that looks better. I still see a little something right here that I should not see. That is interesting. What that looks like to me is that where the black is, there's a little faint resist line that you may or may not be able to see. You sometimes get the resist lines. Okay, and then I'm gonna move my lamp is kind of at this weird location. Okay, that's better. And I want to smooth this out and soften the edge here. Okay. Now I'm looking through the lens. I will leave that for now. I really think that that is very pretty. So pretty. Okay, so for this butterfly, I was going to go ahead and have some of these segments be the 3 colors. And I haven't thought much beyond these few segments. Sharpen that a little bit more. Oh, see, they sharpen to a nice point. I am going to leave the upper segments alone for today, and I will come up with a more cohesive game plan for tomorrow. This one I didn't even do any mock-up of, so I am going to go for darker here and here. And then I'm going to let this be blended out. I might want to take these segments. I would rather, I think, have them be more blended than chunky, distinct chunks, so we'll see what I can do with that. We've been overcast all day. Warm, which is lovely because it's been so cold here this winter. I'm loving the warmth. I'm actually not even dreading the summer humid sticky warmth that I'm guaranteed to encounter here in Central Florida. But it has been a lovely week of weather for me. Yeah, I kind of like that blended look. We'll see. I have my eraser here, and I might be able to, after I'm all done, come back to these and see if I can get a nice blend going instead of chunky. I'm very surprised this is spring break. I don't know if it's spring break everywhere, but in Florida, spring break is like a big deal. And all of the adults take time off to hang out with the children that they're monitoring, making sure they don't get into trouble, the teenagers. And so I'm surprised there are not a ton of teenagers here, because this is totally a teenage hangout place with lots of things to do, but who knows what kids like to do these days. There's a couple of girls who've been at the pool each day, but I've seen them here before, so it's not like they're visitors. All right, so I like that look. It is consistent. This look right up here is the look I am after, and that's sort of ish that. If I can maybe come in here even more. I told you I was going to wait on having this sun light shine, but I'm wanting to have it get the hydrangea flower look. All right, I think that's a little better. That's closer. Things are coming together. So this, I'm going to skip that for the moment and go right on down here to the cute frog. I keep seeing these lily pads as orange slices. We'll see if I can get past that. And these, for whatever reason, I'm sure by shape they look kind of like a poinsettia, but I'm not going to color them poinsettia colored. They are going to be hydrangea colored. Oh, there's a little one over here. I can make that even sharper. This will be a good test of how well they can hold their tip. I would love to know You Castle Arts folks out there, what do you guys think of your Castle Arts compared to other pencils? Okay, so that's for that. And then these bellflowers. Oh, and up here I have these bellflowers that are definitely going to be blue at the bottom and dark purple up top. Tiny images need a very sharp pencil. All right. I filmed the intro earlier, so I'm not sure how long that was. I should have checked on that. So we'll just go. Like I said, I wasn't too worried. The day before I got a little too long. It was another one that had two separate videos. And the first part, I did not track how long that was. So I did have to cut a little bit out. Sort of unnecessary fluff, I guess. Okay, so these bells. All right, so now I have the darkest part of these flowers to do. And this is the middle color. All right, so I said the only thing I was not happy with was these looking not very blendy. So let's see if I can convert this to look a little more. I kind of like this look. So I'm going to try to achieve that over here. And I need to do the middle. And then I need to extend this dark purple down over. There we go. Isn't that weird how that small difference for me makes this image with the gradient or ombre effect within all three as one unit looks way better to me than coloring them flat separately. The only thing I might do with these, I love the light source look. I think that's great. This is that middle purple. I only went in with the dark. So I'm not sure if I can get just a little hint of this middle tone on the far side. I know I can do it with this big bell. But here's a smaller one, but it's fatter. Just a hint. And this one I already had put a little hint. Look at that. Okay, so that is all I'm going to do right now with the pastel tints with the 3 lavenders. I will keep these in my little holder in case I need to do any more segments. The only questions I have is, do I want all of these to be the lavender? And if I did that, then I would probably do the same thing with the circles and these little contours or scallops, I guess. I missed 2 flowers. They are little, so I'm going to go and try to do dark and light. Yeah, so these 2 flowers need to be done. And then I think I am done for today. I didn't really want to be tackling the Evazar quite yet. So I will come up with the rest of the color scheme before tomorrow. Okay. I am not opposed to these little pom-pom bead berries, whatever they are, those being light blue. I do think this is going to be night sky. There are 3 images that do have the stars. These do not. And this is water. So I could say that I'm going to do day sky, night sky, night sky, night sky, water. And I do have, if I go with that route, I do have the pastel tint picked out. Now I understand that frogs probably live in ponds, and the ponds and lakes here are pretty brown. But I'm already going to say that this frog lives in a pristine, tropical, ocean-colored pond. So we'll see about that. We'll work on that tomorrow. So I will take photography so that you can have a picture of the whole page as it is. These 3 colors that I used today, I will put up in the description. Do all the YouTube things, like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow.